How to make someone fall in love with you. 3 Stoic steps to win your crush's heart. High-value men. Winning someone's heart starts with mastering yourself. Marcus Aurelius. So, you're eager to capture the heart of that special someone? Listen closely. Here are 3 powerful Stoic steps to help you win their affection. But remember, while you should never lose yourself in the process, putting in the right effort is key to creating a lasting connection. Let's dive in. Oh, and if you find value in this, don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Welcome to Win Stoic. Step 1. Listen. When it comes to winning the heart of someone you admire, the first crucial step is to truly listen. In our fast-paced world, many of us fall into the trap of speaking more than we listen. But if you're serious about capturing the attention of your crush, you must flip this dynamic. Listening is not just about hearing words. It's about showing a genuine interest in the person behind those words. Think about it. How often do we find ourselves nodding along, only half engaged while our thoughts wander elsewhere? But if you want to stand out in someone's mind, be the person who listens intently, who makes them feel seen and heard. This approach is a hallmark of high-value men, individuals who understand that the foundation of any meaningful connection lies in giving the other person the space to express themselves fully. Imagine you're at a coffee shop with your crush. The conversation starts with the usual small talk. But instead of steering the dialogue back to yourself or your interests, you take a different route. You ask them about their passions, their goals, their dreams. You don't just ask surface-level questions, but you delve deeper. What inspires you the most in your work? Or, how do you see your future unfolding? When they respond, you listen with undivided attention, not just to the words, but to the emotions behind them. You nod, you smile, you respond thoughtfully, showing them that you value what they're sharing with you. This kind of interaction creates a powerful impression. People are naturally drawn to those who make them feel valued, and by being genuinely interested in what your crush has to say, you are subtly yet effectively building a bridge of trust and affection. This is where the teachings of Stoicism come into play. Stoic life lessons remind us that by focusing on the other person, we cultivate patience, empathy, and presence, all of which are essential qualities in any high-value individual. Seneca once said, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so that we can listen twice as much as we speak." This wisdom is timeless and holds a significant place in the art of winning hearts. Let me share a story. A friend of mine, someone who truly embodies the principles of Stoicism, was once interested in a colleague. Instead of trying to impress her with grand gestures or witty banter, he chose to be a listener. He asked her about her thoughts on various topics, from her favorite books to her opinions on current events. Over time, she came to realize that he was someone she could confide in, someone who was genuinely interested in her as a person. This built a solid foundation of trust, and eventually that trust blossomed into a deep, romantic connection. They are now happily married, and she often mentions how his ability to listen made her fall in love with him. Now, I want you to reflect on this. How often do you truly listen in your conversations? Do you find yourself waiting for your turn to speak? Or are you genuinely engaged in what the other person is saying? By practicing the art of listening, you not only make the other person feel valued, but you also enrich your own understanding and connection with them. It's a simple yet profound Stoic life lesson. The power of listening can transform your relationships, making you not just a high-value man, but someone who others naturally gravitate toward. And remember that love isn't about grand gestures or perfect words. It's about being present, attentive, and genuinely interested in the person you care about. The next time you're with your crush, take a step back from the urge to impress and focus instead on being a great listener. Let your actions speak louder than your words, and you'll find that this Stoic approach not only helps you win their heart, but also enriches your own experience in ways you never imagined. Are you a true listener? Or are you on your journey to becoming a true listener? If yes, then let's shake hands. You and I are on the same path. Comment, "I am a true listener" below. Step 2. Pay attention. Ever wondered what truly captures a person's heart? It's not just grand gestures or the perfect timing, but rather the subtle, everyday moments where you show that you genuinely see and appreciate them. As the Stoics taught us, love isn't just about passion. It's about profound understanding and attention to the details that often go unnoticed. In our fast-paced world, where distractions are constant and meaningful connections can feel fleeting, the art of paying attention becomes not just a courtesy, but a powerful tool in winning someone's heart. Imagine walking into a room and someone noticing the smallest change in your appearance, a new haircut, a fresh shirt, or even the way you smile differently today. That moment of recognition isn't just a casual observation. It's a declaration that you matter, that someone truly sees you beyond the surface. In the realm of love, this attentive awareness is a game changer. It's easy to think that big, dramatic gestures are the key to someone's heart, but often it's the small, thoughtful acts that linger in their mind. Stoicism, a philosophy that values wisdom and understanding, teaches us that real happiness and fulfillment come from being present and attuned to the world around us. This principle can be seamlessly applied to relationships. When you notice the little things about your crush, you're not just showing interest. You're demonstrating a deep level of respect and care that speaks louder than words. Complimenting them on something new, be it their hairstyle, clothing, or even a subtle change in their mood, can make them feel valued in ways they might not even realize they longed for. The famous Stoic philosopher Epictetus once said, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so that we can listen twice as much as we speak." This quote beautifully captures the essence of paying attention. It's about listening and observing more than you speak, creating a space where the other person feels genuinely seen and heard. In modern life, where superficial interactions are all too common, taking the time to notice and acknowledge the unique aspects of someone's personality or appearance can set you apart. This isn't just about flattering them. It's about building a connection based on genuine interest and attentiveness. For high-value men, understanding this principle is crucial. The ability to make someone feel special through simple acts of attention is a sign of emotional intelligence and maturity, traits that are incredibly attractive and desirable in today's world. Moreover, paying attention goes beyond just noticing physical changes. It extends to recognizing emotional cues and responding with empathy. If your crush is having a tough day, Acknowledging their feelings and offering support can create a bond that is both deep and lasting. This is where Stoic happiness comes into play, finding joy not in the fleeting pleasures of life, but in the meaningful connections we forge with others. When you apply the Stoic mindset to your interactions, you cultivate relationships that are not just based on attraction, but on mutual respect and understanding. In conclusion, paying attention is more than just a step in the process of making someone fall in love with you. It's a fundamental practice that enriches your relationships and brings you closer to the kind of Stoic happiness that philosophers like Epictetus and Marcus Aurelius spoke of. By focusing on the small details and genuinely caring for the person in front of you, you build a foundation of trust and affection that can grow into something truly beautiful. So, the next time you're with your crush, remember to look a little closer, listen a little more, and let them know that they are not just another face in the crowd. They are someone truly special to you. Can you do it? Comment, "I can definitely do it." And I believe you can definitely do it as long as you put your mind to it. Step 3. Make them laugh. When it comes to winning someone's heart, especially if you're drawn to them on a deeper level, it's crucial to understand that the process isn't about manipulation or playing games. It's about authentically connecting with the other person. One of the most effective ways to do this is by making them laugh, and this step is essential in creating a lasting bond. Humor, when used wisely, can be a powerful tool in forming strong connections, breaking down barriers, and fostering a sense of comfort and trust. In the world of Stoicism today, the art of humor aligns with the Stoic mindset, which encourages us to embrace life with grace, resilience, and yes, even a bit of light-heartedness. Imagine this. You're spending time with your crush, and the mood is light. A well-timed joke, a funny story, or a witty comment can make all the difference. Laughter isn't just about the joy of the moment. It's about creating shared experiences that linger in the memory long after the moment has passed. By showing your crush that you have a great sense of humor, you're not just making them laugh, you're giving them a reason to want to be around you more. A famous quote from Victor Borge beautifully captures this idea. Laughter is the shortest distance between two people. When you can make someone laugh, you're bridging the gap between mere acquaintance and something much more meaningful. But there's more to it than just cracking jokes. To truly connect with someone through humor, you must also be willing to laugh at yourself. Self-deprecating humor, when done in good taste, can be incredibly charming and endearing. It shows that you're comfortable in your own skin, that you don't take yourself too seriously, and that you can see the lighter side of life. This kind of humor aligns with the Stoic principle of humility, which is a cornerstone of the Stoic mindset. Marcus Aurelius once said, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury." In the context of humor, this means that instead of reacting to life's challenges with anger or frustration, you choose to respond with a smile, a laugh, and a positive attitude. Now, think about the people you enjoy being around the most. Chances are, they're the ones who can lift your spirits, make you smile, and bring a bit of joy into your life. By being that person for your crush, you become a source of positivity and light in their life. They'll start to associate you with happiness, and they'll seek you out whenever they need a pick-me-up. This is where the real magic happens. When someone begins to see you as their go-to person for a good laugh, they're also seeing you as someone they can trust, someone who understands them, and someone they want to keep close. However, it's important to strike the right balance. Humor should never come at the expense of others, nor should it be forced. Authenticity is key. Your humor should reflect who you are and what you genuinely find funny. This authenticity is what makes your humor relatable and attractive. Seneca, one of the great Stoic philosophers, reminds us, "True happiness is to enjoy the present without anxious dependence upon the future." When you bring laughter into the present moment, you're not only enjoying yourself, but also inviting others to share in that joy. So, how can you ensure that your humor resonates with your crush? Start by observing what makes them laugh. Pay attention to the things they find funny, whether it's a particular type of joke, a funny movie, or even a humorous situation. By tuning into their sense of humor, you can tailor your approach to make your interactions more meaningful and enjoyable. This attentiveness shows that you care about their happiness, which is incredibly attractive. But remember, laughter should be a two-way street. Engage in playful banter, share funny stories, and encourage them to share theirs. This back-and-forth exchange not only deepens your connection, but also creates a dynamic where both of you contribute to the joy of the conversation. When both parties are invested in making each other laugh, the relationship naturally becomes more vibrant and engaging. It's also worth noting that humor can be a great way to diffuse tension or awkward moments. If you find yourself in a situation where the conversation stalls or takes a serious turn, a light-hearted comment or a funny observation can quickly change the mood and keep things positive. This ability to navigate conversations with ease and humor is a hallmark of high-value men, those who possess confidence, emotional intelligence, and the ability to make others feel at ease. In the realm of Stoicism today, such qualities are not only desirable, but also reflective of a strong Stoic mindset. Now let's pause for a moment and reflect on how you can apply this in your own life. How can you use humor to connect more deeply with the people around you? What kind of humor resonates with you, and how can you share that with others in a way that's authentic and meaningful? By asking yourself these questions, you open the door to greater self-awareness and the potential for deeper, more fulfilling relationships. In conclusion, making someone laugh is not just about being funny. It's about creating a connection that goes beyond words. It's about showing that you can bring joy into their life, that you can be a source of comfort and positivity, and that you're someone worth having around. By embracing the Stoic mindset and incorporating humor into your interactions, you're not only making yourself more attractive to your crush, but also cultivating a happier, more fulfilling life for yourself. So the next time you're with your crush, remember the power of laughter. Be funny, be yourself, and watch as the connection between you grows stronger with each shared smile. And, in the words of Epictetus, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. React with laughter, and you'll find that love often follows close behind. What will you do today to bring more laughter and connection into your life? To truly connect with someone on a romantic level, you must first understand that love is not about manipulation or playing games. It's about genuine connection and shared experiences. As a high-value man seeking to win the heart of your crush, you can apply 3 powerful Stoic life lessons that align with timeless wisdom and modern relationships. The first step is to truly listen. Active listening goes beyond merely hearing words. It involves being fully present, engaged, and empathetic. When you listen with your heart, you show that you value what the other person has to say, creating a bond of trust and understanding. In a world filled with distractions, giving someone your undivided attention is rare and incredibly powerful. The second step is to pay attention, not just to what your crush says, but to the subtle cues and behaviors that reveal their true feelings and desires. This means observing their body language, the topics they are passionate about, and even the things they avoid discussing. By paying attention, you can understand them on a deeper level, making you more attuned to their needs and more capable of providing the support and connection they crave. High-value men know that paying attention is not just about being aware, but about anticipating the needs and emotions of the person they care about. The third and final step is to make them laugh. Laughter is a universal language that breaks down barriers and creates a sense of closeness and joy. When you can make someone laugh, you not only lift their spirits, but also create positive associations with you. A good sense of humor reflects confidence, creativity, and the ability to see the lighter side of life, all traits that are incredibly attractive. But remember, the goal isn't just to be a comedian, it's to share moments of joy and create memories that will strengthen your connection. Consider the story of a man named John, who applied these Stoic principles to win the heart of his crush, Sarah. John was always attentive, listening to Sarah's dreams, her fears, and even the little things she mentioned in passing. He noticed that she loved hiking, so he suggested they explore a new trail together, a move that showed he was paying attention to her interests. Throughout their time together, John made Sarah laugh with his witty remarks and light-hearted humor. Over time, Sarah realized that John was not just another guy trying to impress her. He was someone who genuinely cared, someone who listened, paid attention, and brought joy into her life. It was this authentic connection that made Sarah fall in love with John, not any grand gestures or elaborate plans. Start by asking yourself, are you truly listening when they speak? Are you paying attention to the small details that make them who they are? And do you bring light and laughter into their life? By embracing these principles, you not only increase your chances of building a meaningful relationship, but also become a better version of yourself, someone who is attentive, empathetic, and genuinely caring. To sum up, the lessons here are simple yet profound. Listen to understand, pay attention to connect, and make them laugh to create lasting joy. These steps are not just about winning someone over, they are about building a foundation of trust, respect, and happiness that can lead to a fulfilling and enduring relationship. So take these Stoic lessons to heart, and remember, the path to love is not about grand gestures, but about the small, consistent actions that show you truly care. 6 mistakes in flirting that keep you single. In the journey of love, knowing how to win someone's heart and avoiding common pitfalls can make all the difference. If you're wondering how to make someone fall in love with you, mastering 3 Stoic steps to win your crush's heart is crucial. But equally important is being aware of the 6 mistakes in flirting that might be keeping you single. Combining the wisdom of Stoic principles with an understanding of these common errors can help you approach relationships with confidence and success, ensuring you're not just attracting love, but keeping it. Flirting isn't a skill taught in school, so it's understandable that we make mistakes. The most important thing is to recognize these mistakes and find ways to correct them. Let's find out about 6 mistakes in flirting that keep you single. 1. Acting aloof. One of the biggest mistakes people make when flirting is acting aloof. You might think that by playing it cool and showing little interest, you'll appear more mysterious and desirable. After all, isn't it common advice to keep them guessing? However, this strategy can backfire, leaving you single and frustrated. Dr. Aaron Ben-Zeev, a renowned professor and psychology researcher at the University of Haifa in Israel, explains that acting aloof often does more harm than good. When you pretend not to care, you inadvertently create insecurity and uncertainty in the person you're interested in. This uncertainty can breed distrust and emotional manipulation, laying a shaky foundation for any potential relationship. Instead of drawing them closer, you may be pushing them away. Let's take a moment to think about a scenario many of us have witnessed or even experienced. Imagine you're at a party and you spot someone you find attractive. You've heard that showing too much interest might scare them off, so you decide to play it cool. You give them minimal attention, avoiding eye contact, and engage in conversations with others while keeping an eye on them. What you don't realize is that your aloofness may be interpreted as disinterest or even arrogance. The person you're interested in may start to question your intentions or assume you're not interested at all. As the night progresses, they may begin talking to someone else who shows genuine interest in them, and by the end of the night, you've missed your chance. In modern life, this scenario plays out all too often, especially in the digital age, where communication is often reduced to texts and social media interactions. For instance, how many times have you held back from replying to a text message right away because you didn't want to seem too eager? You might have even waited hours or days, thinking that this would make you appear more in control. But the truth is, this tactic can create unnecessary tension and miscommunication, leading the other person to lose interest or feel neglected. The same principle applies to face-to-face interactions. The more you act indifferent, the more likely you are to convey the wrong message. The Stoics teach us to be genuine and straightforward in our actions, a lesson that is particularly relevant when it comes to relationships. Being aloof contradicts the Stoic principles of honesty and transparency. Marcus Aurelius, one of the great Stoic philosophers, said, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be one." In the context of flirting, this quote serves as a reminder that you should be authentic rather than playing games. High-value men who embody the Stoic mindset understand that sincerity and directness are far more attractive than aloofness. They don't rely on manipulation or pretense to win someone's affection. Instead, they build connections based on mutual respect and genuine interest. So what should you do instead of acting aloof? Start by showing genuine interest in the person you like. Engage in meaningful conversations, listen actively, and show that you care about their thoughts and feelings. It's not about revealing all your cards at once, but rather about being honest in your intentions. If you're interested, let it be known through your actions and words. This doesn't mean you should be overly eager or desperate, but a balanced approach where you express your interest without fear of being vulnerable. As you navigate your interactions, ask yourself, what message am I truly sending? Am I being authentic, or am I hiding behind a facade of indifference? Consider the impact your behavior might have on the other person and whether it aligns with the values of a high-value man who practices Stoic life lessons. Remember, relationships built on games and manipulation rarely last, but those founded on honesty and respect do. In conclusion, acting aloof might seem like a clever way to flirt, but it often leads to missed opportunities and misunderstood intentions. Embrace the Stoic principles of authenticity and directness in your interactions, and you'll find that not only will you attract the right people, but you'll also build stronger, more meaningful connections. The lesson here is simple. Don't let the fear of vulnerability keep you from forming genuine relationships. Instead, approach flirting with the mindset of a high-value man, embodying the Stoic life lessons of sincerity, respect, and honesty. Now take a moment to reflect. How can you apply these principles in your own life to improve your relationships and ensure that your actions align with your true intentions? Your journey toward becoming the best version of yourself starts with the choices you make today. Thank you for being part of today's video. Before we proceed, I want to thank you for your participation in our community. Feel free to share your thoughts, or simply comment, "I'm a newbie" if you're new, or "I'm a Stoic" if you've been around. Your interaction is a great source of motivation for us. Let's continue this journey together, shall we? 2. Not taking the initiative. He who has a why to live can bear almost any how. This profound quote by Friedrich Nietzsche reminds us that purpose drives action. When it comes to relationships, understanding why you desire a connection can empower you to act with intention. But in today's world, many find themselves hesitating, caught in the web of subtle hints and unspoken expectations. Let's explore why taking the initiative is crucial in flirting and how it aligns with the Stoic pursuit of happiness. When it comes to flirting, one of the most common yet overlooked mistakes is the reluctance to take the initiative. This hesitation isn't just a phenomenon experienced by men. It's particularly prevalent among women as well. Often there is a belief that subtle signs, like prolonged eye contact, a warm smile, a casual touch, or even liking a post on social media, are enough to convey interest. However, these signs can be easily misinterpreted or go unnoticed, leaving the other person in a state of uncertainty, anxiety, and even self-doubt. This can cause potential connections to fizzle out before they even begin. The truth is, if you truly want to build a meaningful connection with someone, it's not enough to rely on hints and signals. This is where the wisdom of Stoicism comes into play. Stoicism teaches us to take responsibility for our actions, to be clear in our intentions, and to pursue what we desire with courage and clarity. In modern relationships, waiting for the other person to make the first move can be a passive approach that often leads to missed opportunities. Dating expert Jon Berger from the USA highlights the importance of being proactive, especially if you want to date someone. By taking the initiative, you demonstrate your interest in a clear and direct manner, removing any ambiguity from the situation. This aligns with the Stoic principle of taking control of what you can and not leaving your happiness to chance. In the context of dating, This means not waiting passively for things to happen, but actively creating opportunities for connection. Imagine the confidence that radiates when you take the first step, knowing that you are in control of your path, much like the Stoic belief in controlling one's own destiny. This proactive approach not only increases your chances of success, but also boosts your confidence, showing that you are someone who knows what they want and isn't afraid to go after it. In today's fast-paced world, where digital interactions often replace face-to-face conversations, it's even more crucial to be direct and intentional. Sending mixed signals or relying on indirect methods of showing interest can easily lead to misunderstandings. It's a reflection of the Stoic idea of living with virtue, being honest and straightforward in your actions and communications. When you take the initiative, you're not only making your intentions clear, but also respecting the other person's time and emotions. This kind of clarity and honesty fosters trust and mutual respect, essential foundations for any lasting relationship. As the ancient Stoics taught, living a life of virtue means aligning your actions with your values. In the realm of relationships, this translates to being honest about your feelings and courageous enough to express them. Taking the initiative in flirting isn't about throwing caution to the wind. It's about balancing vulnerability with strength. It's about understanding that fear of rejection is natural, but not something that should hold you back. The Stoic philosopher Seneca once said, "It is not because things are difficult that we do not dare, but because we do not dare that they are difficult." Applying this wisdom to flirting means recognizing that the difficulty lies not in the act itself, but in the fear of the unknown. By daring to take the first step, you not only overcome this fear, but also open yourself up to the possibility of something wonderful. In conclusion, taking the initiative in flirting is a vital step in creating meaningful connections. It aligns with the principles of Stoicism, being proactive, clear, and courageous in your actions. In modern life, where so much of our communication is indirect, being straightforward can set you apart and increase your chances of finding true connection. Remember, Stoic happiness isn't about avoiding risks, but about facing them with a clear mind and a brave heart. So the next time you feel a connection with someone, don't wait. Take the initiative and see where it leads. After all, as the Stoics believed, happiness is within our control, and it begins with the choices we make each day. 3. Not letting go of disappointment from the day. Imagine this. You're preparing for a date or an opportunity to connect with someone new, but your mind is still stuck on the challenges and frustrations of the day. Perhaps a difficult meeting at work or an argument with a friend has left you feeling tense and drained. While it might feel like a natural way to break the ice, bringing those frustrations into your flirting or dating can be a serious mistake that could keep you single longer than you'd like. According to psychologist Dr. James Wadley, a well-respected expert in the field of relationships, this is one of the most common but easily overlooked pitfalls. You see, when you start a conversation or date with a focus on the negative, even if it feels like harmless venting, it can create an immediate barrier between you and the other person. It's a tough truth, but no one wants to start a potential relationship on a note of negativity or frustration. Instead of building a connection, you're inadvertently creating distance. Dr. Wadley, who has extensively studied the dynamics of human interaction, emphasizes the importance of keeping things light and positive at the outset. Why? Because the beginning of any relationship, whether it's a date or casual flirting, sets the tone for how the other person perceives you. Think about it. First, impressions are powerful. They can shape the entire trajectory of a relationship. The ancient Stoic philosopher Epictetus wisely noted, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so that we can listen twice as much as we speak." This is not just about listening to the other person, but also being mindful of what you're saying and the energy you're bringing into the interaction. Are you communicating positivity, openness, and a desire to connect? Or are you unknowingly pushing the other person away with your unresolved frustrations? Letting go of the day's disappointments before you step into a social situation isn't just good advice, it's crucial. Imagine you're carrying a heavy bag filled with all the annoyances and stresses from your day. Now, imagine trying to engage with someone new while holding onto that bag. It's cumbersome, distracting, and makes it nearly impossible to be fully present. The same goes for emotional baggage. If you don't set it down, it will interfere with your ability to connect genuinely. Marcus Aurelius, another prominent Stoic philosopher, once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This wisdom reminds us that while we can't always control what happens in our day, we can control how we respond to it and what we carry into new interactions. Consider this scenario. You're on a date, and instead of focusing on the excitement of getting to know someone new, you start talking about how your boss criticized your work, or how traffic made you late. The other person might nod sympathetically, but deep down, they might start feeling that you're more interested in venting than connecting. This is where the Stoic mindset comes into play. It's about maintaining control over your emotions and not letting external events dictate your behavior. Stoicism today teaches us the value of being present and not allowing the frustrations of life to cloud our interactions. When you bring unresolved negativity into a date, you're not only diminishing your own chances of forming a meaningful connection, but you're also unfairly burdening the other person with your problems. They didn't come to the date to play therapist. They came to enjoy your company, to laugh, and to see if there's a spark worth exploring. Now, you might wonder, but what if I'm genuinely having a bad day? Should I just pretend to be happy? The answer isn't about pretending, it's about perspective. It's about recognizing that your date is an opportunity to step away from the stresses of the day and focus on something positive. It's a chance to reset your mindset, to be fully present, and to see where the conversation takes you. As Seneca, another great Stoic philosopher, once advised, "Begin at once to live and count each separate day as a separate life. Each interaction, each date, is a new opportunity. Don't let the past bleed into the present." So how can you practically apply this wisdom? Start by creating a mental boundary between the day's events and your date. Before you walk into that restaurant or start that conversation, take a few deep breaths and remind yourself that this is a fresh start. Practice mindfulness. Focus on the moment, on the person in front of you, and let go of whatever happened earlier. This doesn't mean you have to be overly cheerful or fake. It simply means being present and engaging with the other person in a way that is free from the weight of your day. Engaging in light, Positive conversation is often the best way to set the tone. Ask about their interests, share a funny story, or talk about something that excites you. These topics create a positive atmosphere and make it easier for both of you to relax and enjoy each other's company. Remember, the goal is to build a connection, and connections are built on shared positive experiences, not shared complaints. Now, let me ask you this. What kind of energy do you want to bring into your next date? Do you want to be seen as someone who is burdened by life's challenges, or as someone who can rise above them and still find joy in the moment? Your answer to this question could be the key to not only improving your dating life, but also embracing a Stoic mindset that can enhance all areas of your life. As you move forward, keep in mind that the way you handle the small moments, like a first date, is often a reflection of how you handle the bigger challenges in life. By practicing emotional resilience and choosing to focus on the positive, you're not just becoming a better date, you're becoming a better person. Stoicism today isn't about suppressing your feelings. It's about understanding them, controlling them, and not letting them control you. So the next time you're tempted to bring the day's frustrations into a date, remember this: you have the power to choose your mindset, to set down the baggage, and to open yourself up to the possibility of something wonderful. How will you choose to show up? 4. Seeing being single as a problem. Let's dive into one of the common mistakes that could be keeping you single, a mistake that often goes unnoticed, but carries a significant impact on your ability to connect with others. Seeing being single as a problem. Imagine this scenario. You're on a date, and instead of enjoying the moment and getting to know the person across the table, you find yourself dwelling on the fact that you're single. You might casually mention how you've been single for a while, or, even worse, express how much you dislike being single. This mindset is not just unhelpful, it can be downright damaging to your chances of forming a meaningful connection. Renowned psychologist Dr. Karen Anderson highlights that viewing your single status as a problem can cast a negative shadow over your interactions. When you see being single as a flaw, you inadvertently project that perception onto others, making it seem like you're desperate for a relationship or overly picky about finding the perfect partner. This can send a strong signal to potential partners that you don't value yourself unless you're in a relationship, which can be a major turn-off. The Stoics teach us that our perceptions shape our reality, and in this case, your perception of being single can greatly influence how others perceive you. As Epictetus wisely said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." If you approach your single status with negativity, you're likely to attract more negativity. On the other hand, embracing your singlehood with confidence and seeing it as an opportunity for growth and self-discovery can make you more attractive to others. Ask yourself this: how do you view your single status? Do you see it as a burden or as a chance to better understand yourself and what you truly want in a partner? By shifting your mindset and adopting a Stoic approach, you can change the way you engage with potential partners. Remember, the Stoic mindset teaches us to focus on what we can control and to let go of what we cannot. You can't control when the right person will come into your life, but you can control how you present yourself in the meantime. Embrace the concept of Stoicism today by practicing self-love, building your confidence, and understanding that your worth isn't tied to your relationship status. In doing so, you'll naturally attract someone who values you for who you are, not for the mere fact that you're in a relationship. So, the next time you're on a date, instead of lamenting your single status, take a deep breath, smile, and focus on the person in front of you. Engage with them as an equal, someone who is content and complete on their own, and watch how this mindset shift transforms your dating experiences. What do you think? How could adopting a Stoic mindset change the way you approach your singlehood and ultimately your relationships? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and let's discuss how embracing Stoicism today can lead to a more fulfilling and confident dating life. 5. Over-romanticizing the perfect type. One of the most common mistakes in flirting, particularly among men, is over-romanticizing the idea of a perfect type. We often build up an idealized version of a partner in our minds, someone who ticks all the boxes of our dream companion. However, as Dr. Amy M. Gordon, a relationship and happiness psychologist, points out, setting such high expectations can be a double-edged sword. On one hand, these high expectations might push us to seek out qualities that align with our deepest values and desires, thus fostering commitment and encouraging positive behavior. On the other hand, the danger lies in expecting perfection, an ideal that no real person can ever fully meet. In modern life, where social media and dating apps bombard us with endless options and curated images of perfection, it's easy to fall into the trap of believing that there's someone out there who is flawless, someone who will complete us in every way. But this over-romanticization often leads to dissatisfaction and disillusionment in real relationships. When we hold on to this vision of the perfect partner, we might overlook the very real, very human person standing right in front of us. This mindset not only keeps us single, but also prevents us from experiencing the true depth of Stoic happiness, which is rooted in appreciating what we have, rather than yearning for an unattainable ideal. Remember, Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we can control, our thoughts and actions. When we apply this to our romantic lives, it means being realistic and open-minded about the people we meet. No one is perfect, and expecting perfection is not only unfair to others, but also a recipe for constant disappointment. Instead of fixating on what a person is not, try to appreciate who they are. Every person we encounter has unique qualities that can enrich our lives if we allow ourselves to see them. In the context of what is Stoicism, this approach aligns with the principle of accepting reality as it is, not as we wish it to be. The Stoic mindset encourages us to let go of unrealistic expectations and embrace the imperfections of others, understanding that these imperfections are part of what makes relationships fulfilling and meaningful. After all, true Stoic happiness comes not from having everything we want, but from wanting and valuing what we have. In today's fast-paced, image-driven world, it's crucial to remind ourselves that real love and connection are found in the acceptance of the imperfect. Instead of searching endlessly for someone who matches a fantasy, look for someone who makes you feel content and respected. Someone who, though not perfect, complements your life in meaningful ways. In doing so, you not only open the door to genuine relationships, but also cultivate a mindset grounded in the principles of Stoicism, one that values reality over illusion and lasting happiness over fleeting infatuation. So, as you navigate the complex world of dating and relationships, keep in mind the wisdom of the Stoics. Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one. In this context, being a good man means being open, realistic, and appreciative of the potential partners you meet, rather than holding out for an impossible ideal. By letting go of the need for perfection, you'll find that life becomes richer, relationships deeper, and happiness more attainable. 6. Hiding your feelings. Let's dive into one of the most significant pitfalls in flirting that can keep you stuck in a cycle of missed opportunities and loneliness: hiding your feelings. Imagine this. You're interested in someone, but instead of expressing your emotions, you keep them bottled up. You think you're playing it safe, avoiding the potential embarrassment or rejection that could come from putting yourself out there. But in reality, what you're doing is building a wall around yourself, a barrier that prevents genuine connection from forming. The irony here is that the very thing you fear, rejection, is more likely to happen because the other person never truly gets to know you. In the words of the great Stoic philosopher Seneca, we suffer more often in imagination than in reality. This couldn't be more true in the realm of relationships. By keeping your feelings hidden, you're letting fear dictate your actions, and in doing so, you're allowing that fear to manifest into the very outcome you dread. Let's explore this further. Why do we hide our feelings? Often it's because we're afraid of being vulnerable. We live in a world that often equates vulnerability with weakness, but in reality, it's the opposite. Vulnerability is a sign of strength. It shows that you're willing to be open, honest, and authentic, even when there's a risk involved. When you embrace your emotions and communicate them to the person you're interested in, you're not just showing them who you are, you're also giving them the opportunity to meet you halfway, to connect with you on a deeper level. This is where the Stoic mindset can play a crucial role in modern relationships. Stoicism today teaches us to embrace our emotions with wisdom, to acknowledge them, but not to be controlled by them. It encourages us to live authentically, guided by reason and courage rather than fear. But here's a question for you to ponder. How often have you let fear hold you back from expressing your true feelings? Think about the connections that could have blossomed if you'd just taken that leap of faith. The reality is, when you hide your feelings, you're not protecting yourself, you're isolating yourself. The other person might perceive your silence as disinterest, and as a result, they might pull away, thinking that the connection is one-sided. And so, the cycle continues. You remain single, not because you aren't worthy of love or connection, but because you've unknowingly sabotaged your own chances by letting fear dictate your actions. To break free from this cycle, you need to adopt a new approach. Start by reflecting on the Stoic principles that encourage emotional resilience and authenticity. Remember, the goal isn't to be emotionless, but to express your emotions in a way that is true to yourself and respectful to others. This means being open about your feelings without being overly attached to the outcome. It's about understanding that while you can't control how the other person will respond, you can control how you present yourself. And in doing so, you increase your chances of forming a genuine connection that is based on mutual respect and understanding. So, the next time you find yourself in a situation where you're tempted to hide your feelings, ask yourself, what would a person with a Stoic mindset do? Would they allow fear to dictate their actions, or would they choose to act with courage and authenticity? The answer is clear. To truly connect with others, you must be willing to show them who you are, emotions and all. By doing so, you not only break down the barriers that keep you single, but you also pave the way for a deeper, more meaningful connection that is rooted in honesty and mutual respect. After all, as Marcus Aurelius once said, the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. So why not choose thoughts and actions that lead to connection rather than isolation? Let this be the guiding principle of your interactions. Embrace your emotions, express them with courage, and watch as the walls that once kept you single begin to crumble, revealing the path to the fulfilling relationships you've always desired. 7. Don't give fake compliments. When it comes to flirting, one of the most common mistakes men make is failing to understand the subtle difference between a genuine compliment and a superficial one. It's easy to fall into the trap of giving empty flattery, thinking it will win a woman's heart, but in reality, it often has the opposite effect. Women, especially those of high value, can easily detect when a compliment is insincere, and this can be a major turn-off. For example, if you tell a woman that she's the most beautiful person you've ever seen, but it's clear you've said that to many others before, she's likely to feel that your words are hollow and meaningless. Instead, focus on what truly makes her unique. Maybe it's the way she lights up when she talks about something she's passionate about, or the kindness she shows to others. These types of compliments are more likely to resonate with her because they show that you're genuinely paying attention and that you appreciate her for who she really is. Let's consider a modern example. Imagine a man who goes on several dates with different women and always says the same thing. "You're so beautiful, I've never met anyone like you." While at first this might seem flattering, over time, the women start to realize that he's not really seeing them as individuals. He's just saying what he thinks they want to hear. This approach may work temporarily, but it's not sustainable for building meaningful connections. On the other hand, another man who takes the time to listen and observe might say something like, "I really admire how you're so dedicated to your career. It's inspiring to see someone who is so passionate about their work." This kind of compliment is more likely to make a lasting impression because it's rooted in sincerity and shows that he values her beyond just her appearance. The lesson here, especially for those striving to live by Stoic principles and embody the traits of a high-value man, is to approach interactions with women from a place of genuine respect and admiration. Stoic life lessons teach us that authenticity is key in all aspects of life, including relationships. When you compliment a woman, do it because you truly mean it, not because you think it's what she wants to hear. By doing so, you not only stand out from others, but also build a foundation of trust and respect, which is crucial in any relationship. It's not about saying the right words to impress her. It's about being genuine and showing that you value her for who she truly is. Ask yourself, the next time you're about to give a compliment, am I saying this because I truly mean it, or because I think it will make her like me? This question can help you pause and reflect, leading to more meaningful and authentic interactions. Remember, a high-value man doesn't seek validation from others through superficial words. He is confident in his own worth and expresses himself truthfully. This is not just a principle of effective flirting, but a Stoic mindset that can be applied to all areas of life. By living with integrity and authenticity, you attract the right kind of people into your life, those who appreciate you for who you really are. How can you practice more sincerity in your daily interactions? Start by being mindful of your words and actions and focus on building connections based on mutual respect and genuine interest. In doing so, you'll not only improve your relationships, but also cultivate a life of purpose and meaning. So, next time you find yourself in a flirtatious conversation, remember the power of mystery. Ask yourself, how much should I share? What impression am I leaving? Am I maintaining my Stoic mindset and allowing the connection to develop naturally? These questions will not only help you navigate the complexities of flirting, but will also ensure that you present yourself in the best possible light. After all, the goal is not just to avoid being single, but to find a connection that is meaningful and lasting. How will you use these principles to improve your interactions? The choice, as always, is yours. As we wrap up this exploration of the 6 mistakes in flirting that keep you single, remember that awareness is the first step toward change. By understanding and avoiding these pitfalls, you can approach your interactions with confidence and authenticity, paving the way for more meaningful connections. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Win Stoic. Make sure to turn on notifications so you won't miss any of our upcoming videos, packed with insights to help you live your best life.